Hyzen was doing that. So that's why I respect VDM's own, like him involving himself in this particular case. Now, in the first part of the video, we established some facts which I think we need to understand. First of all, number one, Hyzen's cover being blown was an error, as we looked at in our first conversation. Number two as well, Hyzen did not negotiate with the kidnappers. It's not part of his modus operandi to negotiate with kidnappers when such situations happen. It's left for the families themselves to negotiate or whatever. His job is to follow up and see ways to catch the kidnappers. Number three, Hyzen was not at the drop-off point. He wasn't there at the exchange of the money, even though he handled the money at some point because he had to work on the money before the money was taken away to actually be given to the kidnappers. Note that. Also, Hyzen did not. Number three as well. Now, one new thing I discovered was that Hyzen was being reached out to. He was being invited into this case. He did not invite himself into this conversation. He posted this particular video on Twitter, titled, as you can see here, Armed Kidnappers Sent. He posted this video himself on Twitter on the 27th of November. Armed kidnappers sent video to family of husband and wife kidnapped from Aviele community near Awushi, Edo State. The kidnappers are demanding for ransom. I am alerting the federal government, state government to swiftly respond faster and restore peace to our communities. He posted this. This was sent to him. Now, forgive me as well, in my previous video, the man that was always speaking, thanks to that friend, of course, who commented in the video, President Z04 isn't like actually the biological brother. I see some people, when they come in the comment, they try to become too sentimental. If you have an issue, if you see that probably you are contributing to the conversation we are having right here, you state the fact of what it is you think is something you've noticed or your issue with the video or conversation or something you want to correct, than for you to go on the comment and writing garbage. In the end, you're not making any facts. That's not how we work here. If you're a passerby and you join here, you see that if you look at the comments, we have conversations. So this person that you have always seen here, this particular person that normally talks on social media for the family, isn't a biological brother, even though he calls the kidnapped victims, of course, brothers or his brother, because he was actually involved or around at the time of them doing the whole exchange and ransom and something like that. So I would think, according to, you see, Ovia Success own post, that he was a biological brother, because if you looked at that particular post by Ovia Success, clearly, of course, he was pointing to the fact that this person who came out on social media to speak is more like the brother. But I'm knowing now that this is not the biological brother. In fact, one person that actually did speak was the younger brother who is married to the man that is being held right now. And this is the person here who actually quoted the post by Hyzen and said, "She is my sister and he's my in-law. Please come to our aid." The person's name on Twitter is Abdul Ganiyu Osei 1. Probably this was the person that made the video that Hyzen posted and then retweeting that particular video saying that Hyzen should come to their aid. So Hyzen did not take himself into the case. He was invited. So when Hyzen said that he was invited, of course, into the case in his video, indeed he was correct. So let's look at the video for those who want to really get context of this as we get to go on, okay?
Good morning, sir. This is where my brother and his wife were kidnapped.
You see here, good morning, sir. That means they were sending this video to him
Last night. The both of them, around the hours of 7 to 8, he was coming back from town yesterday in his house when they kidnapped him and his wife. According to somebody that was at home, he said he saw Fulani men taking them inside the bush. So this is the bush that I saw them. So, sir, this is the environment. This is the bush where he was taken into. They took him and his wife last night.
So this side as well here, I see this to be that this was sent to Hyzen himself. Now, if this is a propaganda or a setup for Hyzen and he fell for it, then those who are in the family would actually have to be investigated. But I don't see this personally. I have to be sincere with you. I don't see this at this point to be more like a setup against Hyzen. But Harrison himself posting this himself here didn't post it to be more like, okay, I'm swifting into action. The title of the post himself here, as he posts, is him calling on the government to actually, step in. So him posting about this himself, indeed, if the kidnappers are also following him or know him, probably he's getting that popularity for catching kidnappers or something, then of course at this point they could have known that Harrison is now involved in the case. Do you understand? But Harrison posting this as himself as the activity is makes sense because this is the line of what he does. Volunteering, of course, for the safety of communities. So, but when you look at the person here, this same person that called to his aid, Abdul Ganiyu, Osei on Twitter, you can go and verify these things I'm speaking about. Now, this person is not the one that is making the videos. I was thinking that this person here is the same thing as this person, but this person is more like the content creator who happens to be around, or would I say part of the community of or the family that was around the raising of money and everything. So this person would not be the biological brother. But again, as well here, let's go on. So the this account as well here is an account of the person that is related to the family directly, and he is the brother of the one that has been released, the wife. Okay, so he's also part of calling Harrison a thief. He says here there's no twist to anything. He's a thief. Say that he says he was told these people will count this money. He knew and he still removed from the ransom money, risking people's life. He's a thief and there is no sugarcoating. Now remember, the same people that called to his aid are now the one calling him a thief. Now you have to understand something. People are going to say helping Nigerians is going to be is just a fatal thing to do, because the same people that are praising you will be the same people that are going to drag you. And that is it. I think in this particular case here, what you are looking at in the subject of accountability, because someone might be the favorite in your eye, indeed for a fact, but that doesn't mean you can never see wrong in what the person does. You see, just like here, when I stay here and talk, and maybe I talk about, let's say, VDM, the few times I've talked about him when he cuts into trends that actually concerns my probably area of conversation, and I call him out for what it is that is wrong in what he's saying or doing, there are people that can never see wrong in what he does. Do you understand? I'll play some part of the videos I cut out in my other part in this video towards the end of the conversation, but this is not what we are looking at as well today, because there have been new development or new content creation on the side of this whole Harrison's case that is now becoming quite sketchy, because in that same conversation, VDM is said to be a satanic activist in this whole pulling down syndrome. I've seen many of these Edo bloggers, like what did they call his name again, Brother Mike, saying that congratulating VDM and calling him an expert in pulling down people. I have no issue with VDM as a person. He's standing up truly to what his name represents. So if he's calling out, of course, evil, or what I say, speaking against that which is happening in the society, then of course that is what it has to be. Simple. Just that it's going to come as well from a dark point of view, but sometimes you have to experience some darkness for you to understand the value of light. So if it's bringing to light the things that are in the darkness, being very dark man, then of course you have to accept him for who he is. Doesn't mean that he himself cannot be wrong. Do you understand? Let's go on as well here also. And even I myself, before you people start saying that, oh George, no. On this particular platform here, we don't have this whole infallibility mindset for those who just joined or who just came because of this conversation. This is not my core. Some of you know that already. So moving on as well here. So this is the new twist of the story as well, as this person now gets to speak. Let's listen to what he has to say.
I said, make I tell now, if when they judge issues like this, if when they look into issues, when they remove emotion.
Fact.
You see, this Harrison issue, now just because say our brothers see they with kidnappers, now it make us never see really talk, show now so many things we need to know.
And note as well here, thanks to the person that still corrected me in the comments. You see, when he still keeps saying our brother, because he was there at that particular event, I would typically see him as a family. But him speaking here, just like saying, maybe I'm Igbo, like you say, oh, my brother, or I'm Anang, or Kwebum, like you say, oh, me. You understand? So you understand what I'm saying? But anyway, let's go on here.
But I just want to make now those of now where they call me, where they write so many things. I won't tell you now what you don't know. You see that Harrison and the victim brother, now they arrange that money, put the tracker inside. I come inside where they don't do finish before all of us go downstairs. Harrison, this money is correct. I ask the doctor, after this money correct, say yes. I say good. All of us go downstairs. The next thing Harrison say, we don't like, understand the way body they do am. I say, okay, how your body they do you? You tell me. I start my car. I drove down to pharmacies to get medications for Harrison. I bring her back to the hotel for where we sit down for down. Harrison take the medications. The next thing say, he won't go up. Harrison left us, go upstairs. Now there, Harrison for offload that penny. He offload the penny, he paid the money for different bags. Now 3 bags there. The police dey there. Police, I don't follow police go there, go retrieve the money, go recover the money. Now police follow Harrison go hotel room where they see those money for inside the bag, the 3 bags where Harrison arrange the money put. Harrison come DPO office, they put the money, we count the money together. The money na 5,400,000 Harrison. See, many things there we una need to know. But I just say make this our brother come outside before we talk about this thing. When I talk say VDM, he say make I set Harrison up. Why? Waiting na me VDM won't say make I set Harrison up. When this matter happen, I never talk to VDM. No be me informer. So I don't know anything when they try open their mouth. They talk because of emotion. They don't live life like that. They don't live life like that. Some people when don't know me, they talk. You don't know me. You don't just judge. You don't know me. If I get bad record, if I do those things where Harrison don't do before, share for this matter now, and I go to see say they go to come out one after the other. It should say I don't get bad record. So Harrison way gets bad record. Because of this matter don't come out, and people don't bring so many things out. Una say by una self. Una say by una self. The DP of Auchi division, if not be the sense where that man used that night, no be all those one for the top. No be all those one. So all those things one they add now, una don't they see the truth. The truth don't the thing don't they clear. All of una, some of una, all those vloggers, all of una don't they dress body go back. See, before you say anything, for matter where you don't know, verify well. Ask question. I just say make una understand, say, nobody send anybody to set Harrison up. Nobody get personal issue with Harrison. If by now, I not do that video, my brothers and sisters, una not go understand what for don't happen to me for Edo North where we did, for Edo State. When he pay me, say, Harrison, you know, ask question about Kukuruku land. If you ask question, you go, no, say, you know, if you come Kukuruku land, come pay money. You know, fit. You pay money, you won't come play with us. You don't do things like that. You know you know and you hear say this woman and this man with a day kidnappers net. The woman get belle. Harrison, no be blood the rush for everybody. Just wait come out first. More look, more hear what you want tell people. I don't want now I go know whether if really now human being you be or not.
So the angle for which he comes from is quite clear. Probably he was among those that was involved in raising the money to set this man free. And there's this narration that when Harrison talked about the whole ransom money being raised when I was watching his video, he made a comment where he said that the kidnappers told him that they are going to release only the wife at the bush. But when he said that in that video, he didn't give a timeline. Was it before they went to go and give the money? Or was it what happened at the point of when they went to deliver the money? But of course, from the report that came from Harrison's lawyer, indeed, what happened was that, like we saw in our previous video, there was an altercation at the point of delivering the money, that the money was not complete. So take the woman first, and then when we count the money and it's complete, then we can now pay the transport for the man himself to come back home, according to what VDM said in his own reportage. But the thing here now is that new import reports emerging now is that they are demanding for 60 million naira now for the man. So if they are demanding money around 60 million, I don't know how verifiably true this particular story is, then it would mean that the man might still be alive. And for them to be demanding that amount of money, probably they might have sent video evidence to prove that the man is still alive, which I think would be good news that the man himself is alive. And also, he may not be the only one that is in this particular kidnappers. And I've seen videos on Twitter of people that have also been released, probably by the same group, circulating on Twitter. If you go on Twitter as well, just type Harrison's name, you see every information that is being shared in this particular regard. So what point am I trying to make right here? Now, for those who are still confused as to the whole conversation about the money, because I've seen some narration saying that, why would you invite Harrison when you already negotiated the money to give to the kidnappers? Why are you calling him to come and deliver money? Hyzen did not come to deliver any money. Hyzen came to do his job on catching kidnappers. Note, his goal, Hyzen's main modus operandi is catching the kidnappers. So him being invited in this case here would be more like aiding in catching the kidnappers. So for him to do that, of course, he has to work on the money according to his modus operandi. The family had already agreed with the kidnappers that they're going to pay 20 million naira. Now, I read a wonderful comment in my previous video that even paying ransom, of course, to kidnappers is not something legal. It's not something legally allowed as well. Even negotiating with kidnappers as well is not something that is legally allowed. And if that is the case, then I was just wondering what the government has been doing in the past with this whole, negotiating with bandits and all of that. And indeed, it's now looking as if, paying kidnappers is more like a regular thing or a normal thing now. When I told you about my mom being kidnapped, this was years ago, like over 7 to 8 years ago, like over 12 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's been a long time. So kidnapping has been a pandemic in the country before now that is even becoming more rampant. That was even when it was even still starting. The Evans time. Yes. So it's a different thing altogether. So for me, those traumatic experience here comes to mind when I see this kind of things happening, and I can know where the family is coming from. So the man that was speaking out on social media was just speaking to save his face so that he will not be the one that is being, attacked when, discoveries like this also came to come out. But again, if you read the comment on my previous video, the one by J.P. Peters, please, someone should, if you, this is the first video you're seeing, watch my previous video, look at the comment I have pinned. Over here, when I see valuable comments I think are interesting, I pin them for others to read. I'm not like know-it-all. This place is a community. If you just came in here, if you just meet me for the first time, you're welcome. But here we have people that get to contribute to conversations that I sometimes pin for others as well to get to learn and also follow up stories as they get to come. All right. Thank you very much. But this particular part of the conversation I came across on Twitter now says a different side of the story based on someone that spoke to Hyzen's lawyer. So let's listen to this right here.
I just got a phone from him this morning. He called me and I asked how far, what is going on. Did Hyzen confess that he took that money? He said there is no such confession. That now Hyzen has been able to break down his modus operandi. As a security expert that has been helping people.
Asking if Hyzen had confessed if he took the money, saying that Hyzen has not confessed he took the money. But the fact that we know today is that Hyzen took some money. Now it depends on how we define taking the money. Is it taking the money and going, or just keeping the money aside? We know now factually that money was not complete and money was discovered in his hands and he returned money to the DPO. So whether he took money or not, the fact is that money was missing from the actual money that was supposed to be given to the kidnappers. Let's go on.
Go into the bush to rescue their victims. It's imperative that he keeps some of this information to himself. But when the chips are down now, the poor boy has spilled. This is how I operate. Now listen and listen good. Now Hyzen was forced to spill everything and how he operates. He said in his confession, he said that when ransom money is given, they take out a huge sum from the ransom money and replace it with a prototype. A prototype is like fake cash. And replace it with a prototype money. Because it's in that prototype money that you can easily attach a chip. You guys know how our Naira is now. Especially Naira that is going to be used to pay ransom. It's usually weak. Chips cannot stay on it. So he places the chip, the tracking chip, on that prototype money. So a huge sum of the money is removed and replaced with a prototype that is fake cash, where they now put this chip on. It's on that chip that they can now, be able to catch, to track these people and catch. So according to him, it's not my testimony. According to him, that was done. And that was done in the presence of the family member who this family gave him to monitor him, arrange and count the money. The guy was in the room when all these things were done. He said he didn't do it in presence of the family members because he doesn't know who is who. So they gave him one. He insisted that one person must be with him, and one person was there in the room with him when he was rearranging, counting, and doing his job.
But that one person is also a family member. So I was wondering, why would they be saying they don't know? Because that one person can still tell others what happened. If you read Ovia's success on post as well, he mentioned about that. So let's continue with what the woman is saying.
So, the The chip was placed, and at midnight, they went into the bush to pay this ransom. Now, when they dropped the ransom, these bandits insisted that it's only the lady they will release. Now, come to think of it, what if the whole money was donated, was dropped, and still they gave him only one of the victims? So, when he dropped that ransom, only the pregnant woman was released to them. And there, he said what he noticed when he went to the bush was that they all wore masks, even though the weather or whatever, the day was dark. You know, they went at midnight. Everywhere was dark. They still wore masks. That they won't.
But saying that they all wore masks, Hyzen was not there at the drop-off. He wasn't part of the drop-off of those who actually went to exchange the money. Because if they saw him there one day, they would buy him, knowing who he is, knowing his presence. That's if his popularity has reached that level. I'm going to read Hyzen's post. I read it in my previous video. Some people were saying, I don't know what I'm saying. Hyzen wrote it himself. They took the money to go and deliver. He was speaking like they. Not as if he was involved. I'll go to Hyzen's post. But the way this woman now is talking, she doesn't talk about the idea of there being an altercation, like VDM was saying in his post, that there was an altercation of the money being not being complete because the people had experience and they could see that. You understand? So this person is clearly coming from Hyzen's side to make a defense for him. It's okay. Just like some of you are going to be defending whoever you want to defend in the comments, it's okay. But here we stand for objectivity. Okay, let's go on.
He has been saying they used to leave their face when it's time to, do all these operations. That most of these bandits don't cover their face. But this one, they covered face from head to toe. They covered everywhere, so nobody can trace who they are. So when they released this woman to him, he went also in the company of other people. Other people also went to pay ransom. He went in their company. And when they released this woman to them, this woman started begging. And he was calling on his younger brother to forgive him. That is his testimony. I wasn't there. He said, I'm just a third-party reporter. That he was calling on his younger brother to forgive him. Whatever I've done in the life, please forgive me. Because he was thinking that they had come to release both of them, but they released only his wife. So he now started begging, crying, wailing that his younger brother should please forgive him for whatever he has done. He should please, save him. So he took the lady that he gave him and left because he has already placed a chip in the money that was given to these people. So he took the lady and left. In the morning, they say after operation, they go to the police to report. So they now went to the police station and reported. It was while they were there that they got information that the money was not complete. Guess who made that got that first-hand information? The same younger brother this man was begging.
So who is the younger brother that this man was begging, according to this story that is given by Hyzen now, if Hyzen was not there at the pickup or the drop-off point? Because this story now, she's taking off the idea of what VDM said from his own interaction with the people, whoever he talked to, that there was an altercation at the point of delivery, that the money was not complete, which was the reason why they released the woman. They were supposed to release 2 of them. And why would this woman be also making reference to the fact that, okay, what if the money was complete? Why wouldn't they have, what if the money was complete and they still did not release both of them? So she's missing out something intentionally, or probably she's just giving a report according to Hyzen's own reportage to create a defense as well for him, which is okay. Anyone can do their thing, but it doesn't get to add up with this person's story or this person's story. So saying that this now is now going to paint a narrative, because if there was no altercation at the point of delivery and they only got to know about the idea of money not being complete from the said brother that he was begging, like not he, I mean the victim that is still there was begging for forgiveness, then it is now painting a picture that that particular brother has a hand, or this is an inside job. But let's go on.
Was the one that called and said that the money Hyzen submitted to these people is not complete.
The money that Hyzen submitted to these people, but Hyzen did not go and make the drop off. So
the police, and he went in the company of one of their family members, who also has been with him for this operation. So the guy brought it to the notice of the police people, and they said asking him, the money no complete. Him at first was trying to like hold on to his confidentiality, because he knows how he operates. He was trying not to tell them, oh yes, this is how it is. But when they kept pressing and pressing, he said, okay, please, this is what I do. You guys called me in to assist. I was on my own. You called me to assist, and I came here to assist. Allow me to do my job. This is how I work. This is how I work. They insisted, you go bring the money, blah blah blah. The next day they run the one way am to beat them. Now I said, I'm gonna wait. Man, go bring on the money. Come. I didn't take the money for my personal gain. After all, it's not in my account. I kept it aside and replaced it with the prototype, which I will. Though it's just now he's talking about the prototype, which I was also going to give back to the family after the successful operation and the recovery has been made. You can go to his wall and verify how he has been operating. Whether it is fake or not, we don't know. So he told them that, and then they told him to go and bring the money. So he went to his room on his own. Now only him waka go the hotel room, brought the money and gave to the police people. He was the one that brought the money and gave them. But because the bad blood is already there, they don't already agitate. The police advised him to leave his car and just enter transport and go. So him and his teammates left their car. He went with his teammates. Him and his teammates decided to leave his truck at the police station. Not that they impounded it or they seized it. No, only him keep him because investigation was still going to be on. And he took a public transport back to his town. He left the town for them that night. He gave them that money before he left. So when it was now online, and he begged them not to go online yet until this man is released, that they should not expose anything first, that he's still working and he's willing to finish the job he was called to do. So, but before we knew what was happening, they've already gone online to start dragging him, and the dragging started. Harris is still money, Harris is still money, Harris is still money. Why he steal the money, you don't know. Whether he steal the money, we don't know. The reason for him to remove the money, we don't know. So, when the news was now online, first of all, it was like a faceless account. Later, someone came up with a face, I think it's Z04 or something they call him, came up with a face and narrated that Harrison collect money, blah, 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 and that he's on the run. So I called Harrison. I said, Harrison, hey, waiting I dey here. He tell me, sis, no be waiting you think. This is how I work, this is how I work. I said, well, first of all, they said you're on the run. You have to drop a rebuttal. You have to say your own part of the story, because if you don't talk, they will believe that true, you're on the run. So you have to tell them, even though you don't see everything as it's supposed to be online, keep some confidential information to yourself. But come online and tell them, look, this is me, oh, this is what happened, though. Even though you don't go into the depth of what really happened, just say something and let it not look as if you are running. And he came online and did that. Though we said his rebuttal, his video was watery. He's watery because he saved some information for himself. He cannot bring everything out in public. So he did his rebuttal, though watery, but he did a rebuttal to say, look, I didn't steal this money. I did not remove this money for my personal gain. And my car was not impounded. My car was, it was me that left my car in the town and left with a transport and left with transport fare, public transport, because these people were already threatening me. So, and that investigation will still be on. He will still go back to the police station for more information, investigation, which he did. They said his rebuttal was not good enough. They said attacking. My dear, investigations are done outside social media. So whatever he has said, let's take it until the police and the court has decided without, with this thing. So when he now left, the next day, he went to see the commissioner, I think the Delta State Commissioner of Police, and who told him to go to the police station. And, if your clear conscience will not, if you have a clear conscience, why are you running? Why should you not, go and report to the right authority? Delta State does not have the jurisdiction to handle it. So he drove himself, only him, Wakago State CID. He went to the State CID in Edo State because this thing happened in Auchi. And Auchi is under the State CID of Edo State. So he went there and went to see the commissioner. Though it wasn't palatable because he and the commissioner has already had their own bad blood before in the past. So he went to report. This is how it happened and all that. So, but they were not friendly with him. They were attacked. You know what? This thing it does is it will bring bickering, it will bring bitterness, it will bring some level of jealousy and all that. But that is okay. So it wasn't really palatable for him over there and everything. And then they brought out Joe Diauchi as the Diauchi policeman forwarded the money. And they made him look like he was handing the money over to them, and they snapped him just to ridicule him. This is the money he has returned 2 days ago, a day before. This is the money he has returned 48 hours before. Now they are making him hand over the money as if he's just handing over the money yesterday.
I want to say something at this point here, which I think is important for you to note, okay? The reason why the government exists and all these security operatives exist is because they want to have their attention. It is their responsibility. In fact, once you start doing something that people themselves are paid for and they get accolades for, or it becomes their responsibility, of course, they are going to also have some animosity towards your person. That is a fact.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So total we have here is 10 million naira. This money was criminally robbed from a Nigerian, an NYSC youth corps member, who was traveling to River State. He was held by these officers, and the family had to contribute this money. Here you are seeing 10 million naira. That's what we have here. So it is recovered. My name is Hyzen. We just left Yonogwa, AIG zone 16, Yonogwa, Bayelsa State. All right. Some NYSC members traveling from Warri to Port Harcourt. They are Deltans. They were stopped at stop and search in Bayelsa State. Some officers who are now identified as surveillance team of the AIG zone 16, Bayelsa State, took their phones from them and searched them. They found nothing. They searched the car. They found nothing. So they asked them to a police to give them money for fuel. Because of the delay, they delayed them for almost 30 minutes. So the young man transferred 15,000 naira to the officer. This is the account he transferred the money to. And after he transferred this money to the officer, I think the officer holding his phone saw the debit alert on his phone dropped, and he saw that he has some huge amount of money in his account. So now they can't change them for him. Immediately he saw the debit alerts on his phone, they dragged them into the car and took them away. They drove them for about 2 hours in the bush, going from different location to another, until they now took them to zone 16, Bayelsa, where they took them to the office and forced them to make some videos that they allege internet fraudsters, Yahoo, and the rest of them. So they started telling them to tell the family to send money. They started calling friends and families, and they were sending money to their account until they got about 10 million naira, which they transferred to this POS account, was paid to POS account. The officers involved in this case were just patrolling around the yard, like they were laughing at us. Say, no, we don't collect them now. We go still, show we go still. They were like threatening us in the place. We now went to AIG office to go and say AIG. The PRO led us to AIG office. And the way the man shouted at me, the way the man treated me was very, very bad. And it shows that he is working with these guys. He's the one backing them. Because if you're not the one backing them, I don't see the reason why he should be angry with me. So the AIG should call the AIG Zone 16 to order. Because these guys have been doing this thing for so long. A lot of recovery has been made. These officers, nothing happened to them. Tomorrow again, they'll go back again to the road again to go and commit more havoc. The anti-courtesy unit of that same Zone 16, money was recovered just last 3 weeks. The officers, nothing happened to them. It continues. Now, after this recovery, now what happened next? They will still go back again to the road again to go and commit more havoc. Escape people, held them hostage, and force them to transfer money into their account. It is criminal. It is criminal. And I believe these officers are the ones destroying the image of the Nigerian police force. They should be called to order.
Okay, this is not the responsibility of, let's say, Hyzen. Do you understand? And if people start looking away from the government and now start looking at private sector or private individual, then over time as well, the government, they get to lose their value. They get to lose their relevance. Why? Because indeed the relevance should be to them. But I was just wondering to myself, Hyzen has been working with security apparatus, the DSS, some soldiers. I've seen people on uniform with him. Even when he made his video, he said that they would hold on and stay behind while he was going to be the one in front. Of course, normally now, if you want to talk about something and, herofy yourself, of course, you can make that statement. It's okay. But the point is that he has been working with the security apparatus to also carry out his mission, which he has succeeded in the past before, whether you believe him or you don't believe him. So I would get it why it will look as if there is this sense of ridiculing him, or a bit of a competition between him and maybe the people that are actually charged with the responsibility of doing that. Makes sense. But let's go on with what the woman had to say. She happens to be a legal practitioner herself, I believe so.
And the picture and everything they snapped went viral. All these things they are doing is just for social media amusement, but that is their business. Now, after that, they prepared a warrant. They prepared a warrant and said he should sign it. In that warrant, they said it was them that came into his room and recovered the money. He said, no, now, mommy carried it in my hand. They carried the money, can't give you now. I was trying to explain to you how I work. I can't give the kidnappers everything. I took out of it and replaced it with fake money, where I can put the chip for tracking. When I explain, you people say you don't want to, my explanation is not good enough that I'm a thief, I should go and bring the money. I brought out the money and gave to you people. Now you are not saying that I should sign warrant that it was you people that recovered it from me. How? Not be me bring the money. And that cost.
Did Hyzen go to his hotel, bring the money, and then come to the station and give to them? Or they were now talking with the DPO and they said, okay, I have the money in my hotel, follow me, let me come and give you the money. That would make sense why the police themselves would say, okay, because we came and then took the money from you, even though you gave it to us, really. Not as if you came, because warrant would give an idea that they had a search warrant, officially a search warrant, that is either issued by a court of competent jurisdiction or something for them to go and search his place for the money. But Hyzen on his own, being confronted about that, said, oh yes, I took money for this, okay, let me go and bring it. So there was no warrant to that respect. So Hyzen not signing that particular document is justified because there was no warrant to that. So trying to create a warrant to that which was not done ab initio doesn't make sense.
Argument, and his lawyer vehemently refused that someone is at the gate, and his lawyer vehemently refused that he will sign that warrant. That
the lawyer was right.
8 hours after he has submitted the money. Not only him using leg, Akago police station, nobody arrested him. Okay. He went there for further investigation and interrogation. Fine. What are that? Open now. Let him walk. That is powers that be, tussle, competition, tussle, and everything. Whatever it is, a man is still in the custody of the bandits. Can we all focus on releasing that person first? Can the police just do their job? Can the security agencies just do their job and leave a civilian out of this? Now, the money you are arguing about...
The police cannot do their job because the act of a civilian who was contacted and came to help, carrying out his modus operandi, just happened to have not gone in line with what the family had decided already to do, which was to pay 20 million naira. And the family themselves not knowing, or anyone not knowing what he was doing, I wonder how he works as a team, which I know is very concerning, but you see, we have to say the truth here. And we don't have to throw away the baby with the dirty water. Hyzen is a good guy. I believe so. He has good intentions, but probably his intentions may have been flawed in some way. If the police would have to do their job, then they couldn't have looked for Hyzen. They could have gone to the police for them to do their job from the beginning. If you are calling Hyzen in a kidnap case, one thing you are calling Hyzen for is, number one, that maybe the kidnappers themselves could be caught. But if you already agree with kidnappers that they are going to pay a ransom, and you have called Hyzen to come into that particular picture, what is the purpose of calling Hyzen? Hyzen has two missions. One, to get the kidnappers, and two, probably as well to rescue. But for him to be able to get the kidnappers, there has to be something in his modus operandi, which we now know now, that has to be in custody of the kidnappers for them to be able to be caught. Because had it been that this whole thing went smooth and then Hyzen's tracker or whatever was able to be in the hands of the kidnappers and they were now caught, this same family as well, they would come for their money that they had spent on those that had been kidnapped earlier. And probably would they still have the vocal cavity or the impetus to come on social media and say, we paid 20 million for the ransom, and then our 20 million is not complete. Is the life more important than the money that is not complete or complete? That is also another conversation. Okay, because if these things went smooth, they took the money without counting and they have the chip there, and then Hyzen was able to track and get them. This community or these people now look like people that might come out and say, our money is not complete. Oh, they're supposed to pay us back our 20 million complete, even though we have been able to. In fact, they might even come and say that this person that has been caught, or these kidnappers that have been caught, is because of us that brought Hyzen, that they caught them and then caught other people that maybe were also held by the same kidnappers. But again, as well, I was asking myself, has there been really a successful rescue mission by Hyzen in the past? Because one of them that was actually posted online of a lady that was held and then was rescued later was said to be staged by one particular news platform. I don't want to talk about it, but I might look at it maybe if I care that much, but I don't think I'll look at it. So that is also another angle of which people are looking at this whole conversation. But indeed, if you look at Harrison's page, he has been in the field, whether he's creating content or whatever. You have seen dead bodies, you have seen guns being recovered. That is a fact, at least according to him. I'm not playing a devil's advocate at this point. I'm just being a good advocate.
Submitted. What else? He's in the police cell. Now they tried using this 14 days remand to remand him in prison for 14 days and all that. It did not fly. So there was no remand like the propagandists. Like propagandists are already flying in on the internet that he was remanded. He was not remanded. He's just in the police cell, which anything can happen. Is why he still has a good lawyer who can. Good morning, my dear. He still has a good lawyer who can help him come out of it. Now the Harrison, still thinking that his heart is like how other people's heart is. He's still offering to go and help them. That look, you can see the chip is still on. That this chip is still on. That these people are still, you still can see the location of these people because the chip was placed in that ransom money. That this chip is still on. Look at, you can see where they are. Can he just assist them? And instead of them talking about how he can assist to get these people, they are focusing on him and the 5.4 million naira, which has been returned.
This is where the problem becomes interesting, because I watched a video on News Central of which Harrison's friend, who has been with him over time in this whole conversation, or would I say, who knows him better. He was even the one that called VDM the satanic activist called VDM. He was the one that made that statement. This is what he had to say about Harrison, the police, and the investigation. Watch this.
All of these abductions that we are seeing and the efforts of the government so far. We've seen cases where, to a large extent, the families of the victims take up responsibility, to try to free their victims. What would you say, or how would you describe the whole situation in 30 seconds?
The fact is that the government of Nigeria today has proven over and over that they are incapable of protecting lives and property. We all know it's the duty of the government to protect citizens, but the government has failed. Recall that on April 25th, 2025, myself and Harrison Gwamnishu, we resigned as SSA to the governor of Delta State due to insecurity that the government failed to fill the lacuna. And since then, the government improved. The government of Delta State improved with respect to collaboration with activists for security advocacy. We've had relative success with respect to going after these kidnappers. And there are strategies that Harrison Gwamnishu was using with respect to this, of which the way things are going now, it's very unfair that information that was not supposed to be for public use is now on the public.
What information is that, please? You said, are you there?
The tracking chip, I'm here. Usually, the tracking chip usually mixed, according to Harrison, with the counterfeit money that will be delivered to these kidnappers, of which they are going to now use drones to follow the money.
Oh, okay.
And tackle the security, but then you can see now that it's not a public matter. Something of security ought to be confidential. Information like this, intelligence information like this.
So on the case of Harrison Gwamnishu right now, I mean, with all of the scandal that it's wrapped around it, which of this, now you said you've worked with Harrison on some of this, will I call it, outings. Which is true, which is false?
No, the fact remains that I've been working with Harrison for over a decade here in Delta State. We've been, both of us at least are the two frontliners when you talk about human rights activists here in Delta State. So it's quite unfortunate that this misunderstanding has led to where we are today. But of course, I'm disappointed in the police because according to eyewitness that was present with them at the scene, Harrison was they were 17 minutes away from where the money was. To track these kidnappers when the DPO told them that they should go back. because they lack confidence in Harrison's software that he uses for this tracking, the forensic software. So it's unfortunate that the police that were supposed to go after those kidnappers to rescue the young man that is still in captivity to date, to this moment we're having this interview, they rather focus on detaining Harrison at the state CID, rushing to court to charge him for OBT, obtaining by trick, and possession of false fake currency, which he has been using. I mean, to track this, to get this relative result.
All right.
That he has achieved in the past few months.
All right. I mean,
so the police has failed us because there is no sign since then that the police have gone after this kidnappers to rescue the young man that is still in captivity. I just pray that God brings that man back home, because Nigerians were supposed to be focused on rescuing this young man. But now they are focused on, we are divided, because some are for Harrison, some are for this satanic activist called VDM that is less than 2 years old in activism, that has never gone for any workshop. He's now a graduate. He has no experience. All he does is to come online, put his ring light, and start attacking people, pulling down syndrome.
So indeed, you see that Hyzen has been charged for possession of fake money. So is this more like a police against Hyzen? That is something that is wrong, of course. But if Hyzen has been working with the police before, they could have known his modus operandi. But the thing is that since he works by secrecy, maybe they don't know how he does it. They just know that he is able to track them and then get people. But the police, when they finish their investigation, they will do a press conference on Harrison's case. But Hyzen has a good intention, has a good heart to do this thing, even though he might, maybe, like VDM was insinuating, that he has a problem with money. And you heard the man saying that police were 17 minutes away from where the money is, but they did not have that particular morale, not trusting Harrison's own conviction for them to fire down. The police might also be careful, because probably them trying to approach the kidnappers might lead to people losing their lives in the process. The police might have their explanation for whatever thing, but they would also have to answer to this, that Harrison was also trying to help. Let's go on to what the narration that is from Harrison's side as well says.
Now, my fear is, should he still go into that bush with these people? Do we still trust that they won't harm him? I'm afraid for him. But if, in all of this, I would just advise that if they are going to charge the matter to court, let them charge the matter to court, and then let us find out who is guilty and who is not guilty. So is it still offering to say, look, I know where these people, I can see it, the chip is still there, they are still with the money, they've not discovered the chip yet or destroyed it. Can we just go and, their own is, Harrison should be in the cell, Harrison belittles them, Harrison takes all the glory, Harrison did this, Harrison did that. See, whatever you do in life, pray God for the spirit of discernment. If he had the spirit of discernment and the still small voice of the Holy Spirit talking to him, he will know that this operation was a no-no. He would have focused on Delta State. Harrison has helped my state in so many ways. I may be sticking out my neck for him despite his ugly shortcomings in the past. But I believe that sinners repent.
Everybody has an ugly... Everyone has a past. Hyzen may have had a very interesting past. Let me even... You. Because most of you that keep talking and then... Okay, VDM putting himself in this or whatever. VDM also has a past. But we don't look at him as well from that past. Past might be there for patterns as well. Maybe that is why VDM came and said that, okay, he has a problem with sex and masturbation. And then looking at Harrison from patterns, he has a problem with money. You can say that as well, but people change. People could try to do something better. This could be one of those things. So I get where she's coming from in her own analogy and looking at Harrison's own intentions and what her fears are for him.
Do repent. People still, no matter how bad they are, may still have an atom of good in them. I had one time I had a secretary who was not good with money. His shortcomings was money. I set him up many times and he fell. Sometimes he even steal money from my handbag. And I'll tell him, I'll call his name and say, I keep 10,000 for my handbag, now 7,000. And now I give the handbag, now you go keep for office. What happened? Mommy, sorry, I took it. He was not good with money. So what I did, I knew how to follow him. But he was not a bad boy. Send him on any errand. Piam, he don't deliver.
She's just telling you something indirectly. You get it. Thank you.
Tell him to do anything. This guy will stick. When I was doing election petitions that year, I leave office by 3, 4 a.m. This, my secretary will stay with me till after my drafting, photocopying, assembling and everything. This boy will walk like a horse. But when it comes to him handling money, he wasn't good with handling money. Will I throw him away because he's clept? He's not good with money. What about the other good things he does for me? Why should I throw him? What if he's my son? Will I throw him away? I kept him close. I kept monitoring him. All I do is that if I want to send him an errand, I'll ask him, sure you have your ATM? He say yes. I will forward the money to his account ATM so that he will use his ATM to deliver, buy whatever or deliver what I want him to do. There are ways you handle people who have their own shortcomings, who have their own flaws, who have their own poison. If you know someone is not good with money, there's a way you handle them. But don't write them off that they are bad and evil people when they still have atom of good in them. On that note, I am still standing with Hyzen.
And I really appreciate this woman
until
as well.
A court of competent jurisdiction.
Yeah, of course she will speak with respect to the court, because indeed, come on, for me, I've been in courts for how many years now? Yeah. So the courts might be compromised, might not be compromised, but at least as a lawyer, you speak in that regard. But what is a fact is a fact. For me, I respect Hyzen as a person when it comes to his activities. Him doing what he does is not something that is for anyone. I would say it's something dangerous, what he does and what he shares on social media. And I'm not gonna sit down here and say, oh, VDM should enter the bush or something. No, they are not on the same path. But two of them should not be enemies. They shouldn't be enemies for any reason as well. I don't think Hyzen would come out and then be antagonizing or becoming anti-VDM or something. He doesn't look to me like someone that has that particular flaw in character, or someone that would, come and be, doing basbos. Like, probably we can do basbos here. This is just a video of him, seeing things with the security. That's a security man as well, probably injured or something, but he's there actively with them. Maybe he has problem with money or something. Maybe. I had a reaction to this, but let's listen to what Bro Mike has to say.
Very dark man.
Facebook
Congratulations for sending Hyzen to prison. You understand? You don't really try for bringing people down. You understand? It's not really easy, because since then you have been having the boy since we Don Jazzy and some Nigeria give the guy money. So the thing they pay you for body. Congratulations, because anybody when they give money for this country, they verse you. Just like the way Don Jazzy give Bobrisky, then you take verse Paro as they give you, you pray for Don Jazzy. That's what it be. So congratulations for sending Hyzen to prison. You don't try. And again, I will go to expect you to enter bush when they do the work where they do, because you don't fight for Nigeria now for more than 3 to 4 years now. Nothing don't work. Understand? See, you will not get light. You don't know get road. Where your papa come from, you don't get road. Nothing. Congratulations, you have tried. You understand me? So, after all the people you have been trying to bring down, Yabo, all of them, see it, that's it doing well. They are gone on the sleep. So VDM, congratulations. You understand me? So, now you don't put your foundation. Let's see what you can do to your foundation, because they give you NGO money for the past a year plus, going to 2 years now. Nothing to call for it. Nobody arrest you. You get masturbation issue. You carry different women now for 7 days. People picking because say they are broke. They knock them because you are popular right now. Nobody arrest you. You understand me? So after all, sin and sin. You not see Hyzen a thief. Sin and sin. Abi no wala. God no go ask anybody for anybody's sin, but you will be saying you commit masturbation and you are proud of it. You are proud of sleeping with different girls. Then they clap and follow you. Congratulations for job well done. It shall be well with you as the Hyzen go prison. So right now, to all the old police, we be say Hyzen they help they do their work. They want to know how Hyzen they do them. They want to actually track kidnapper. So money can enter bush now. They don't return the money. When enter bush and VDM enter bush will give the kidnappers the money. So Hyzen, if they're free for this one, you go see learn your lesson. Don't they help Nigeria? You understand me? So may the victim, family members and the police and very dark man, make gonna go give the kidnapper the money. After all, Hyzen don't return the money back a bit. No allow. And for all Nigerians again, I pray may God no allow now enter problem. Who will go take that Hyzen? Understand? Because maybe tomorrow the guy no did that place again. If you know they are available to help you. Understand me? So because no matter what, I will never give Hyzen one jungle justice, because I know say no matter how man live in this life, devil will come for the man and tempt the man. Understand me? So 1 million good, I want to use one thing, one mistake, they condemn man. Hyzen, you are a good person. I Nigeria love you so much. Nigeria stand by you. No matter where you did right now, I pray may the peace of the Lord be with you. May God strengthen you. You understand? You be a good person. They call you content creator, call you different things. You create content, you kidnap you, so many things. My brother, don't worry. May God not let your enemies fall for the victim when they continue your help.
Interesting. Okay, these are like some significant videos I've seen in this conversation. I saw Mama Pat going to meet she was coming from the station and she was just talking about the idea that make you no enter police case at all for any reason. This was what I left out in my other video. Role of Very Dark Black Man and public reaction. So these were key takeaways on the first video that Very Dark Man made. He said, of course, Harrison did not make the drop, from what I heard him say. Kidnappers use their visual impression. I talked about that as well. If money is incomplete, what will happen? Because of course they didn't talk about that particular aspect with respect to if they found out. Kidnappers not having reached the family at this point as well. That is very concerning. Harrison should not have been mentioned to be involved, and that is where this whole thing as well, like I mentioned, his cover should not have been blown in the first place. I think I agree with Very Dark Black Man on that. The kidnappers are on social media. That's a fact as well. Like, come on, if we have the bandits that are terrorizing Nigeria right now on social media, the kidnappers, of course, they are indeed watching these videos. Then Very Dark Man claimed that he is protecting Harrison in this whole case, as even though he comes out to say that he should be arrested. That itself was something I found like to be like, how is he protecting Harrison in this case? How is Very Dark Black Man protecting Harrison in this conversation? Quite something to think about. He said, according to him, that if it happens to be that something happened to the man, the family would look for him. He may not go scot-free. That is true. So him, according to him, saying that he called the police, I was just wondering if he could call the police for Harrison. He can't call the police for every person. Can he call the police for the corrupt politician, or for those who are being charged for fraud and crimes and embezzlement? No. But it will make logical sense when you say that he called the police to get him arrested for someone like a Harrison, who is a commoner like him. It only paints a picture of Nigeria in a particular way. That, do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? So, did I really think that detail was necessary? I don't think that detail was necessary. If you said that because he can say what he felt Harrison should have said when the whole issue happened. But I would say that you shouldn't have come out and said that I called the police to initiate his arrest or something. It will look as if that whole idea that people are saying that you are jealous of him. If you read the comment now, you see human beings who are saying that I'm jealous of VDM. Do I even have that time? I'm only discussing about him here because of this particular issue, like I said in the first statement I made here in this video. I don't even have that time. I'm in my own lane. I've been in my own lane before he came on social media. I respect him, of course. When he speaks good, amazing. When he talks the one I don't agree. He came out and said that I have not lied before. Anyone that said I have lied, but I exposed his lie here. But I didn't blame him that much for that lie, because that was what he was told. So if someone if someone lied to you and you speak that lie confidently, you don't even know that you are lying. So you have to be told that you are lying for you to know that you are lying, because superior knowledge, of course, have come on that. Here we just calm down and look at the facts. So in that case as well here, I didn't think that was necessary. But indeed, him coming out as well here and speaking, because he looked at the social media coverage that Hyzen has compared to the family. So him coming as well to give a different argument, of course, if the kidnappers themselves are wise, they will see that from VDM's own postulation, that it's not really the family's fault. What happened benoist to them, and the family should not be taking the fall for this, or the man should not be killed because of this particular thing, because they themselves didn't know that Harrison was doing that. So that's why I respect VDM's own, like him involving himself in this particular case. Do you understand? So quite amazing. Then of course, Harrison said he did not take the money. That's the point as well here. But if Harrison is saying that no money was missing or he didn't take the money, that would be a lie, even though he took the money. But he was saying that to be more like, okay, so that it doesn't look as if, something fishy is going on, since the kidnappers now know that he is involved, because Hyzen came out to react after the family member came out and reacted and called him out. So him coming to deny, but again, did the kidnappers call that family member and tell them that the money is not complete? Because if Very Dark Man is claiming that the kidnappers had not reached out yet to them, how do they know that the kidnappers now know that the money is not complete. The person that came out to cry out, why are you coming out to cry out if the kidnappers have not contacted you and told you that the money is not complete? So if you're now the one telling the kidnappers, the money we will not get no complete, so it will be more like, we don't find out, say the money we will not hold no complete, or no vex, so as they never call. But this whole thing was supposed to be on a low. But if it was on a low too, and the kidnappers did not still call, Very Dark Man's idea would have been very superb, because it could have been on the low, and then they would just tell them that, oh, there was a mistake. It's those that came to bring the money that removed the money. But again, those that came to bring the money, if you have been watching the stories, were arguing with the kidnapper that the money is complete, only for them to go back and be like, wait a minute, oh, this money no complete, how far? For Harrison himself to now speak. So all in all as well here, the way the whole thing has been blown overboard on social media, someone is still being held. So yes, VDM of course speaking up as well, using his own media and making this a public thing, might be a bit of a saving grace for the man who is being held, because the family didn't know about that happening. Do you understand? Even though it could also be that the family knows, but now since the kidnappers are not calling, the way to damage control and salvage this situation, I'm just saying, on the other side, would be to make this whole story on social media the way it is, so that the kidnappers will not pay him, but understand that, okay, we are still going to pay up, we are very sorry. I'm just saying, looking at different angles of this whole thing. Harrison is a good person, at least for the most I've seen on his social media posting about himself. You go post bad thing about yourself, you decrease. But also reports have come out as well about his person that is not really welcoming at all. Like a pearl, none of us is really perfect. But again, accountability is something that is very certain. When VDM had his own situation whereby they were talking about money being missing from the NGO, he came and then either manipulated or played a joke on everyone, and still came out and called all of you dumb, because if people could not see what he was doing, that he was just playing a prank. But do you play prank as well like that with something public? Yes. When Don Jazzy gave VDM money, he came and spoke about it publicly. That's accountability. Mentioned the amount of money. When Don Jazzy gave Harrison money, he didn't speak about it publicly. He just posted Don Jazzy and said thank you. No one knows how much he gave, because probably Don Jazzy might now be thinking that, oh, with all this money what I give this guy, he still gets mine. Go collect money, or be thief money or whatever. So when it comes to that accountability aspect of it, I think I'll give that to VDM if I even want to compare them on that aspect. But talking about accountability right here, for you to be someone that controls that amount of audience, have that amount of, being accountable is something that is really essential for your person. I have been in court with Mr. Suleiman for the longest, for almost 2 years now. We are still in court. I'm taking care of the bills. Those that have come and give me 1 naira, 2 naira, small contribution here or big contribution, however I want to put it, I always appreciate them. I just came one time and I was trying to be accountable to say, oh, this person, thank you very much. Someone said in the comment, are you now coming to thank people so that many people will give you money? I just said, okay, let me keep quiet, because I did not come and ask and say, donate to me. Oh, I am fighting my legal cases myself. The same lawyer that is fighting VDM with Jeremiah Omotifufuyin is the same lawyer fighting me for Johnson Suleiman. The same lawyer. So if there's something I share in common with VDM, is that we have the same case with gods of men. But that is just on the side. These are things I don't even talk about, because in the end, it's for you to listen and pass. But I know the scars we carry. We know the things we go through behind the scenes for us to just be opening our mouth to talk. So I don't hate VDM, I don't hate Harrison, but I will speak the truth for what it is. And you can go and verify. When I say something, go and verify. The ongoing investigation raises questions about vigilante roles and the ethics of ransom tracking in the society. And that brings us as well to the end of this presentation. If I'm to go into Harrison's head, even though he wants to plant a chip and all that, taking away that money, them going at night as well would be that at night they may not be able to even have a time to count the money. Kidnappers don't even sit down to count money. They will just trust the fact that you love the person you are coming to release so much that you make sure the money is complete, and then you will not want to play with that person's life. So if you understand this at the back of his mind, it will make sense why he will remove the money. Do you understand? And then do whatever he did. And if, like I said as well, if the kidnappers could see, if that event VDM said happened, that they could see the money and feel that the money is not complete, then that means indeed the money was not replaced with whatever prop money. Or even if a prop money was being added to that as well, that prop money was not up to 5.4 million that was taken away. And if you notice as well here, no one, they have not said on each part, even Harrison's part, that the prop money that was replaced was 5.4 million prop money. It will be too obvious inside 20 million. It will be too obvious. That's what they don't mention. Yes, prop money might have been put there for tracking, but it shouldn't be so obvious for the kidnappers to know that this money is not complete by just saying. I really want to read your comments, my community. Here we don't need you. We are not. I'm not looking for followers. Trust me. Trends. I know trends as well. When it comes, it's to show those who are interested in that particular trend, and then it becomes in a 2 or 3 days as well. This will be this will not even be a discussion anymore on social media. It will be past tense. But on this particular case, now that you have found my video, seen me, how are you? How are you doing? Hope you are doing fine. I'm in Chinko. What do you think? I respect VDM for his personality. He's a very dark black man. What do you expect from he's living up to his name. So if he's coming to become anti-Harrison at this point, in a way also saving him, but looking as if he's against him, that is him living up to his person. Now, don't put me in that particular mix. I'm just, some of you call me noisemaker. But one thing is for sure, I'm going to be as real as possible myself, being real George myself. But you, what are you going to be? Are you going to be on this side or be objective and look at the case head on? Hyzen deserves some accolades on his successes in the past. Yes, nobody will never do bad before. Paran that came and was calling Hyzen and bringing his own record in the past, he did this. Was it not the same Paran that VDM was giving Woto the other day? Or came and was talking kinika about VDM, and then... And when I was looking at the comments, I was seeing the whole... the VDM fans, the way they were saying, Harrison this, yes, yeah. I'm like, maybe these same people come, they tell Paran and say he's wasted, nonsense, madman. Not when it was between him and VDM that time. Face facts without sentiment. No carry person for mine. If you carry person for mine, one less sorry. So for those of you who be saying, I know they carry person for mine. This person, I like this person, I hate this person. Just face the fact, no sentiment, and move on. Till I see you later, my name is George. One day, bye-bye. And I will say something here. Harrison deserves my respect for what he has done over time. He could still be a different person. This might be that thing, there was one time Denzel Washington, one of my, my icon. What he said about when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock that time. Sometimes at your highest point is when, the enemy comes for you. There are lessons we have to learn from mistakes we make in life. This might just be a lesson that he had to learn, just that this one became a public. Maybe this had been a private thing and now it's a public thing for him to really go through this. But I think, sincerely speaking, his intentions would be right. That's what I can say in this. Nigerians, in as much as you would want to criticize and hate Harrison or something, he has my respect as a person and someone that is also in the media space. VDM has my respect as a person and what he stands for. If we can channel the attention we have on dealing with him as a civilian and channel the same attention to those who are in power, those who are in government, those who are actually charged with these responsibilities, I think we could do a lot with that. So I see you in the next video. We have some Christocentric conversations to have. Those who came on this video because of VDM, Harrison, this is not my call. We talk about church things a lot here. So if you want to follow us because of that, here we don't say subscribe, don't subscribe, no. One day you see me when you see me, you don't see me when you don't see me. Everywhere good. See you. You're welcome.
Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun o. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀. Ó jẹ́ ènìyàn ló dúró mi wọ́n ti mọ̀ sí ego. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun o. Ọlọ́run o. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun o. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀. Ó jẹ́ ènìyàn ló dúró mi wọ́n ti máa ṣerégún. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun o. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun o. Kùtù ọmọ tí mo dábọ̀ Jésù wá tí mo dábọ̀ dádì. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀. ó jẹ́nìyàn ló dúró mi wọ́n ti mọ̀ ṣe é kó. Onídúró mi ẹ ṣeun o.